Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Lydia Udijochi. We thank you for joining us. Now let's begin with the Armed Forces report, which says efforts by the governing All Progressives Congress to reclaim the governorship seat in the Adamawa state received a big boost as President Muhammadu Buhari has resolved to personally flag off the Binani gubernatorial campaign in the land of beauty. National chairman of the APC, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, confirmed this Thursday evening after leading the Adamawa governorship candidate of the party, Senator Aisha Dahiru Ahmed, to an audience with the president. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has the details.
The APC national chairman and the Adamawa governorship candidate of the party, as well as her running mate, Tsiganama, were accompanied to the State House by the Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talen. They are here for one and only reason, to say thank you to President Muhammadu Buhari for not only ensuring a level playing field for all to pursue their political aspirations in the party, but also his promise to travel to Yola on the 9th to personally flag off the Binani governorship campaign. Senator Aisha Dahiru Binani is the only female governorship candidate of the major political parties for the 2023 elections.
Felt we just have to come and appreciate him and show him how happy we are, how happy Nigerian women are. We are very grateful.
How did he respond?
Wow, he was full of happiness and joy. And he prayed and prayed and prayed that may Almighty Allah make this a reality so that his administration will leave a legacy of a woman becoming an elected governor in Nigeria.
No federating unit of this country has produced a chief executive officer, female, for the state that the APC is about doing under President Muhammadu Buhari. And as chairman of the party, I felt a sense of responsibility and duty to come and appreciate him.
I was on my knees to thank him for the support he's given our very dear governor in waiting. And that was how he addressed her. He said, by the grace of God, this is our governor in waiting. He prayed for us and he said we should tell the world that the end of our complaint as women has come. Because we've always been complaining that we are marginalized, that now we have an opportunity.
NTA News sought to know what makes Binani a phenomenon in the political landscape of Adamawa State that everyone talks about.
Because Binani is known to be one person that love associating with the grassroots. My politics is nothing but grassroots. So if you go to Adamawa, if you just mention the grassroots, the next name is Binani.
I am calling on all well-meaning Nigerian women to support this cause and to call on all Adamawa women and men of goodwill to cast their vote to this credible woman who has the fear of God, who has the love of the masses at heart. She is just like President Buhari. Buhari's politics is grassroots. She loves the common man.
Atiku factor is not a threat to our political ambition.
Atiku is just another politician in Nigeria. Okay? Evidence, history has shown he is defeatable. He is defeatable. He has tried it many times. He has been defeated. And if you go by the performance of the governor of the state today, we have reason to believe that by the grace of God, we will form the next government in Adamawa State.
The governing APC, he however said, will not be complacent though, but assured the people of Adamawa that Senator Binani will live up to expectations if elected governor. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Governor Babagana Umar Zulum has confirmed that Boko Haram insurgency is on verge of becoming history in Borno State, as more than 90% of the security challenges have been addressed. The governor stated this while briefing journalists after an audience with President Muhammadu Buhari. Again, State House correspondent Adamu Sambu will tell us all about it.
Governor Babagana Zulum was in the State House to once again show appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for his administration's genuine efforts at ensuring that Borno State is restored to its former glory as home of peace. During the closed-door engagement, the governor had told the president that posterity will surely be kind to him.
So far, so good in terms of security. The federal government has done well. The military has also done very well. We are now looking into the possibility of rehabilitating the victims of the insurgency. Quite a number of them have surrendered, and then federal government is supporting our mission of rehabilitating them. But most importantly, we have closed down all official IDP camps within Maiduguri Metropolitan Council. So now we don't have any official camps, IDP camp within Maiduguri Metropolitan Council. The unofficial camps will also be closed in the next few months. Very soon, we shall resettle communities of Gudumbali local government area of Borno State. And then we shall also resettle all our refugees that are living in the Republic of Niger, Chad, and Cameroon. President has given approval to this effect, and very soon we shall start.
Governor Zulum said his administration is now focused on sustaining the provision of critical infrastructure across the state for enhanced socio-economic development.
We are looking forward to see how we can rehabilitate Maiduguri Gamborungala Road and then Maiduguri Banki Road, with a view to opening up opportunities for the people to earn their means of livelihood.
Despite his performance in office and popularity amongst the people of Borno State, Governor Zulum said his getting re-elected for a second term in office is a matter of destiny.
It is impossible to question the destiny of God.
So how is the campaign going?
Very well. Campaign is going very well. Borno State is APC family. One big APC family.
This is the first formal engagement between President Muhammadu Buhari and Governor Zulum in the new year. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
The Imam of the National Mosque, Abuja, Professor Ibrahim Makeri, says the sacrifices of men and women of the Nigerian armed forces should be appreciated and honored through prayers for the living and the dead heroes, as well as citizens supporting peace initiatives for the unity and development of the country. This was the focus of the Jumat sermon in commemoration of the 2023 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration. Abdullahi Ajia brings us details.
It is yet another time to remember and value the sacrifices of the armed forces of Nigeria for what they have done and are still doing to protect and unite the country. This is why the Imam's sermon reminds worshippers of the patriotic duty to pray for heroes and heroines of the country, while urging citizens to avoid acts capable of breaching public peace.
Our veteran armed forces who lost their lives during the course of protecting our beloved nation, our lives, we should rather make the whole year celebrating and extending our help, whatever we can afford to their widows, to their orphans, to whoever they left behind.
Representative of President Muhammadu Buhari, Senate President Ahmed Lawan, who was among service chiefs and paramilitary heads, reassures the armed forces of a pride of place even as the administration winds down, saying that so much needs to be committed towards their welfare.
All the country and the armed forces and other security organizations to ensure that we provide the kind of resources that they need to continue to provide security and safety in our country. Even though the resources may not be sufficient, but we have at all times we should have to prioritize funding and making provision of resources for the armed forces and other civilians.
As believers in the potency of prayers, the Imam led a special dua for the continued victory of the armed forces over enemies of the state and leaders as well as followers to succeed. In Abuja, Abdullah Hajj, NTA News.
Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu has commiserated with the families of those who lost their lives in a boat mishap in Saminaji in Koko local government area of Kebbi State. While calling for caution on the waterways, the governor prayed for the dead and recovery of those still missing. Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports.
Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu expressed sadness on the tragic incident, praying God to forestall reoccurrence. The governor advised operators of water transportation such as boats and canoes to strictly adhere to operational guidelines and to ensure inventory and passengers manifest at all times.
No matter how much money we want, the safety of human lives must be a priority. The marine authorities' guidelines must also be recognized because they are outlined for the public safety too.
He commended the local rescue team and the community leaders for their effort in the search and rescue operation. The chairman Kokobese Local Government Council Alhaji Yahya Bello Koko and the district head of Duzimari, Baraden Duzimari, Alhaji Mualli Usman, appreciated the governor and entourage, informed him that the actual number of people on board during the incident has not been ascertained, but 4 bodies have been recovered while several passengers have been rescued unhurt. Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has commiserated with the government and people of Kebbi State over loss of many lives following the capsizing of a boat conveying farmers. President Buhari condoles with families who lost loved ones in the accident, urging more prayers for the rescued persons that are still undergoing medical examinations and treatment. The president commends the efforts of rescue workers who worked for days searching for the missing persons, while calling on stakeholders to pay more attention to proper regulation of transportation by boats, especially in rural areas. President Buhari prays that the Almighty God will receive the souls of the departed. Imo State is to witness massive infrastructural development in 2023. The State Governor Hope Uzodimma disclosed this while presenting his administration's scorecard at the Imo Stakeholders Forum held in Owerri. Beatrice Anyam reports.
The Imo Stakeholders Forum, which is the 7th edition since assumption of office by Governor Hope Uzodimma, is to render account of his stewardship since the last meeting in January last year. Governor Hope Uzodimma says massive infrastructural development has been provided for in the 2023 state budget with an allocation of 373 billion naira, representing 72% of the total budget. He adds that this will fast-track development, boost the economy, and enable job creation.
And added to the commission land reports and numerous other intercity was built by the services. Imo State would have been sufficiently networked in terms of improved infrastructure. The immediate impact will be to promote intercity trade and the free flow of knowledge of goods and agricultural produce.
Convinced by the achievements and successes recorded in the last 3 years of Governor Uzodimma's administration, a vote of confidence was passed by the stakeholders as they unanimously supported the governor's re-election in 2020. The forum attracted stakeholders from various sectors. In Owerri, Beatrice Anyam, NTA News.
The Commissioner of Police, Akwa Ibom State Command, Olatoye Durosimi, has charged police officers and community leaders to conduct themselves peacefully before, during, and after the general elections. This was during a familiarization visit to C Divisional Police Headquarters in Akwa Ibom State. Kelvin Samuel reports.
Created in 1999, the C Divisional Police Headquarters, which is located along Akaitinan Road, is one of the places affected by flood, which took over the entire area for many years, with its additional problem of inadequate office accommodation for officers. With the intervention of the World Bank, which brought to an end the lingering flood situation in the area, the Akwa Ibom State Police Commissioner Olatoye Durosimi moved into action by providing needed facilities for the reawakening of the station. Hence, this visit, where officers and men of the command are being charged to gear up for the task ahead to ensure adequate security within their domain, especially during the general elections.
We must not destroy ourselves. We must not destroy our hopes. We must not destroy our cars. And we must not kill ourselves for election. Election is not a do or die affair.
We are proud of our record. The crime rate has reduced within this period. Our target is to completely eradicate violent crime so that our people can live in peace.
The C Division of the Nigerian Police Akwa Ibom State Command covers a total of 13 communities, hosting some critical infrastructures like the State House of Assembly, Ibom Tropicana, as well as the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, amongst others. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
Ahead of the 2023 general elections, youths have been advised to shun money politics, but vote for candidates that will provide a secure future. Former Chairman Senate Committee on Special Duty Senator Clever Ikisipo gave the advice at a lecture organized by his foundation. He further reminds the youth to see service as the pathway to greatness instead of being in a haste to make it in life at all costs.
Voting for money is not really helping us. You vote for money, you collect the money today, tomorrow you will regret. It is the same you who will cry. So voting should be who can lead you, but not collecting 5,000 today and you suffer for tomorrow.
Other speakers at the gathering remind ministries, agencies and departments embarking on skills acquisition programs to come up with projects for the beneficiaries.
One fundamental mistake we do about the training is the same orientation problem. You've not prepared the mind of the person to accept that training and to utilize it. So what they do is, while in the training, they're thinking about selling that starter pack.
As youth, we have enormous responsibility. We have the responsibility of building ourselves, building our families, and building our communities. And we can only do this when we shun illicit drugs, violence, youth restlessness.
It's time now to join Adiola in our Lagos Network Center for the continuation of Nationwide. Hello, Adiola. It's
Hello, Lydia. While the Federal Operations Unit Zone A of the Nigeria Customs Service is basking in the euphoria of intercepting goods worth with duty paid value of 13 billion naira in 2022, it is keeping its sight fixed on sustaining zero compromise for duty evasion and diligent trade facilitation. As prelude to fulfilling this goal, the acting controller of the zone, Hussein Ejibunu, has promised non-stop surveillance around border communities to guard against illicit importation that could be detrimental to the forthcoming elections. Michael Olaleye reports.
One positive the Federal Operations Unit Zone A has taken into the new year is the ability to control its area of responsibility by identifying dark spots and beating smugglers in their tactics. These 669 kilograms of cannabis sativa intercepted around Ogere in December 2022 demonstrates such dominance. It is a huge consignment, but the connection between drugs and crime, especially with the general elections around the corner, is propelling a more coordinated approach from the customs.
All those areas that we identified as black spots, they've been identified for the purpose of this election to make sure that illicit items do not find their way in. Illicit items 1, arms and ammunition.
Another concealed game taking a crafty dimension as grains of rice were stored in tires. In fact, no compartment was spared in the vehicle, but as a way of discouraging this trend, the customs intercepted 108 automobiles in 2022, including trucks and motorcycles for being used as means of conveyance.
For the whole year of 2022, we succeeded in intercepting about 93,000 bags of rice.
Within the year under review, the Customs Service covering the southwest zone of the country arrested 176 suspects, in which 7 were convicted, 14 charged to court, 7 in detention, and 151 on administrative bail. The downside to all of these feats is the deaths of 4 officers in the course of anti-smuggling drive, and this, the Customs said, will not deter its course to reduce smuggling to the barest minimum. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NT News.
And now talking politics with women. Women are advocating more inclusion in key and policy-making positions. This is to further harness their potential as important partners for national growth and development. The advocacy was re-echoed at an event in Lagos, and Lynn Leneke reports.
Regarded as the pillar of every home, women are blessed with unique features, and zeroing down on Nigeria, they have played active roles in many sectors that have distinguished many of them globally. As the nation prepares for general election, there is more advocacy for improvement in women's participation in the electioneering process, and the need for all parties to incorporate more of them into appointive positions. An active women mobilizer, who is the new Iya Adini of Johnson, Mrs. Amina Temitope Ajayi, appeals to eligible voters to collect their PVCs to enable them exercise their franchise at the poll. She observed that government of the day has opened more space and gives support to the female, urging them to take advantage of the available opportunities in politics to strive for the betterment of all.
It's only in Nigeria we depend on government. In America, individuals will take it upon themselves and empower women, embrace women, lift women up. There's something I'm telling everybody right now. Politics is not do or die. I don't like Nigerian women to have complex. We're very educated.
I want to encourage more women to go into politics, particularly professional women, from our community, from your ward, from where you live, from your local government. Even if you're not contesting elections, participate.
When we have more women being included in government, in decision-making positions, it's easier for their own voices to be heard, for them to push for agendas that would meet the needs of women in Nigeria.
In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on the screen for updates. We shall take some messages. The news will continue with Lydia in Abuja when we return. To stay.
Thank you for staying with us. The coordinator, Presidential Amnesty Program, Major General Barry Tarie Ndiomo, is suggesting that ex-agitators should be engaged in the protection of pipelines in the Niger Delta. He stated this while giving an update on steps taken to reposition the program, including efforts to secure employment for graduates of the scheme. Mia Ugidi reports.
A new ambience, a new man at the Presidential Amnesty Office, Abuja. Major General Barry Tarie Ndiomo, wearing the look that depicts his readiness for the job. Just 4 months old, but reaching out to many for partnership to give the amnesty program the reforms it deserves. From NIDDA, security chiefs, traditional rulers, ex-agitators, to the head of the civil service of the Federation. Today, meeting with the journalist, He was emphatic. Billions of naira going into tuition fees for beneficiaries of the scheme. He admitted that is not sustainable, so there is need for auditing. But for students that have successfully graduated, there is great hope.
I've gone around visiting quite a number of government agencies, ministers, to try to see how we can secure employment for these boys. In terms of entrepreneurship, we have a number of initiatives. We have come with the concept of train, employ, and exits, because this program is not intended to last forever.
Crude oil theft, a major challenge to the economy, and the Office of the Presidential Amnesty Program is willing to be part of the clampdown on the criminals.
I believe that the ex-agitators should be given the opportunity to be involved in the protection and surveillance of oil pipelines within the Niger Delta. It is something they have also discussed with me, and I believe that it will also be a way of testing their faith and commitment.
Thumbs up from the coordinator to President Muhammadu Buhari for prompt approval for the monthly allowances to ex-agitators and a lot of reforms in the offing with the signing of the 2023 budget. General Barry promised. Mie Ogide, NT News.
Mina is standing by in Enugu. Let's join her for more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Mina.
Hello, Lydia. Good evening and welcome to Enugu. Some people are giving themselves permission to replace grand ambitions in the move to uphold realistic expectations for 2023 after having their hopes dashed in 2022, while others are adopting flexible mindset for 2023. Comfort IM expressed people's expectations for the new year.
There is a clear indication that the last few years have been quite challenging on many fronts in Nigeria. For thousands of families whose loved ones were victims, they can look forward to a new year of hope, never to come across such an experience. For those still in their dungeons, they can look forward with expectations of regaining freedom this year.
It was sweet and sour. That combo kind of made it good. It came with a lot of challenges, but then once there is life, there is hope.
2022 was hard on all of us. It was really hard because the economy was bad and we are in recession and all of that.
As usual, at the end of each year, people take stock on journeys so far with life struggles. And the new year 2023 is here. What are the expectations of residents in Enugu State?
This year will be better in terms of security, so that at least we go out and without fear.
Get a new card this year. That goes for it. And set my account to, be bouncing here and there.
More business opportunities, and then hopefully to meet the potential store.
With the popular saying, once there is life, there is hope. Respondents hold the firm belief that the year 2023 will be a better year if the general elections will be free, fair, and credible. In Enugu, Comfort, IM, NT News.
The ongoing shortage of petroleum products across the country has heightened hardship as hike in pump price has resulted in increase of transport fares as well as affected prices of goods and services. In Enugu metropolis, commuters lament the effect of the situation on life and general living, while calling on authorities concerned to hasten solution to give them a new lease of life. Correspondent reports.
Residents of Enugu metropolis are gradually returning to the city after the U-turn to resume business and other activities. But with the fuel situation in the country, few vehicles are seen plying the roads, a situation commuters attribute to lack and hike in price of PMS.
I bought fuel of 5,000 up to 2 hours ago. So despite the hike in price, we have some filling stations selling as high as 300 naira, some 290. The cheapest you can get is 280. So you notice that for regular users like us that buy fuel of 35,000 naira daily, it has doubled. So what happens is you buy fuel of 5,000 before you could get from point A to point B. It seems as if you bought mutilated spirit.
Residents lament the situation, which has brought untold hardship to commuters. They, however, call on the relevant authorities to come to their aid and review the full situation.
People are just suffering. All we are getting is just being exploited from us through the PMS sellers.
The hike in pump price of petrol has also affected all aspects of life and living. Transport fare has skyrocketed, while prices of goods are also affected. Residents are full of hope that in no distant time, the narrative will change. In Enugu,
we'll take another breather here. Nationwide will continue with Salamatu in Kaduna after this break.
On the network service of the NTA, and here in Kaduna, we'll begin with religious matters. Kaduna State Pilgrims Welfare Agency has launched this year's Hajj savings scheme for intending Muslim programs from the state. The scheme was launched by the Emir of Zazzau, Ambassador Ahmed Nuhu Bamili, describing the exercise as foresight, which enabled low-income earners to fulfill one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Let's hear more from Amina Saidu.
The Hajj savings scheme was introduced by the State Pilgrims Welfare Agency to enable those who intend to perform this year's Hajj pay instrumentally. It is expected that intending pilgrims make a deposit of 1.5 million naira before the announcement of Hajj fares by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria. Launching the scheme, Emir of Zazzau applauded the agency's commitment towards easing difficulties encountered during the process of securing Hajj seats by intending pilgrims. He called on those who intend to perform this year's Hajj to utilize the opportunity. Executive Secretary of the agency, Yakub Yusuf, said the agency intends to operate the scheme to provide opportunities for the low-income class.
We don't accept cash payment. And no any previous officer or whoever is allowed to collect any gift for service. You don't do that, and whoever is caught is going to be punished according to the laws that establish the agency. So what we are saying is that you go and collect your teller and then make your payments in the bank.
The final launching of the scheme by the Emir of Zazzau signifies the commencement of this year's Hajj savings scheme on the Kaduna State Pilgrims Welfare Agency. Amina Saidu, NT News.
And from religious matters to politics, women in rural communities of Kaduna State have been mobilized to support the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, amidst pledges to evolve sustainable economic policies aimed at addressing poverty gap among rural dwellers. Deputy National Women Leader Zainab Ibrahim Abubakar said this while leading APC presidential campaign train to hinterlands in northern Kaduna senatorial zone. Ahmed Umar Ajingi reports.
The campaign train led by the Deputy National Women Leader landed in Borno local government area after takeoff from Kano State. It was a homecoming for the entourage, as the Borno local government area is one of the APC strongholds. The Deputy National Women Leader Zainab Ibrahim Abubakar, while interacting with the women in the area, said electing Bola Tinubu as the president is bidding farewell to poverty.
I'm calling on each and every woman in this country to make sure she possesses PDC and then vote APC, so that APC will continue the good work President Mohamed Buhari has started and then even do better.
Other speakers said the All Progressive Congress is taking the issue of women, youth and children very serious and has national plans to address these problems. From Kebbi down to Kaduna, where the Deputy National Women Leader met with women ward leaders of the APC at the party secretariat. The emperor was also at Shepherd and Hood Green Market to interact with women traders.
We're here to bring the campaign to the market owner, to meet the market women in their business places. We don't want to shut down their businesses. As their business continue, we're going to tell them to vote APC because Asiwaju has laudable plans for them.
They are calling for support to the ongoing effort to ensure the emergence of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the next president.
And that's all we have on our bulletin. For more reports on Nationwide, let's rejoin Lydia in Abuja. Good evening.
Many thanks, Salamatu. Tactical operatives of Zamfara State Police Command have killed one terrorist and arrested 6 others who have allegedly been terrorizing people of the state and beyond. The suspects, along with some exhibits, were paraded at the command headquarters in Gusau. The report. Still on security issues, the Department of State Services has denied an online publication that says court stops DSS from arresting INEC chairman. A statement by its public relations officer, Dr. Peter Funaya, says the newspapers killed what transpired at the court and reported it out of context, therefore misleading the public. Meanwhile, the service says it is aware of the antics of some mischievous elements who are desirous of fomenting crisis in the country, including creating unnecessary controversies around the forthcoming general elections. The DSS therefore warns these individuals and groups to desist from nefarious plans. The DSS assures Nigerians and the international community of the service commitment to the maintenance of law and order, including ensuring a free, fair general election. Zonal 12 of the Federal Road Safety Corps has confirmed an accident that involved a Hummer bus and a trailer which claimed lives of 18 people, including children, along Bauchi-Jos Road. Muazu Hassan reports.
The accident that occurred at around 4:40 evening of Wednesday, 4th January this year in Nabardo village along Bauchi-Jos Road, Zonal Commanding Officers on 12 of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Assistant Corps Marshal Rotimi Adele said all the people in the Hummer bus were born beyond recognition.
It took us 2 minutes or 3 minutes to get to the scene of the crash, but as at the time we got to the scene of the crash, the fire was so much, we were able to we try as much as possible to call the fire service in Bauchi, but by the time we were able to get in touch with them, the harm has been done. All the occupants of the Hummer bus got burnt, and our rescue team were able to try as much as possible to avoid further harm.
This manifest released by the command indicates that the travelers were on their way to Skira Uba local government area of Borno State from Lagos.
The rescue till midnight, and the social officer in Nabodo, in conjunction with the police, were able to give them the mass burial. But that's the only thing they could do. The mass burial was given in the midnight of at the scene of the crash, while the clearing of obstruction is just a few hours. Just completed the clearing of obstruction on the road with our men in conjunction with the police.
Bauchi, Moaz Hassan, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the 24-hour curfew imposed on Ikare Akoko is being complied with as major roads in the town are deserted. Abiodun Oladepo has the situation report.
The feud, which started this week Tuesday, continues unabated, with many residential buildings and other personal property touched by the warring factions. Most commercial nerve centers in town were under lock and key. Filling stations and banks, too, were closed down for business, hence no commercial activities captured by our camera lens. Most busy roads in town were devoid of their usual hustling and bustling. With the recent 24 hours curfew imposed on the town by the state government, more presence of security outfits are now being felt around the town. From Ikare, Abiodun Oladipo, NTA News.
In the breakdown of the just signed 2023 national budget, Water Resources Ministry is one of the 5 key ministries to share the 1.24 trillion naira budgeted for infrastructure. Musbaudan Wahab looks at the recent trajectory of allocations to the sector and expectations this fiscal year.
In the last couple of years, millions of communities across the country have reasons to roll out the drums and put up smiles like never before. This is because their communities and villages have been linked with new roads and bridges.
Distance between policy and results requires a bridge, and we are building those bridges to the results.
And the policymakers have decided to add the number of roads and speed of completion with a bold move in the 2023 budget. 6 critical sectors take about 5.7% of the whole budget. These squares up to about 1.24 trillion. The Ministry of Works and Housing had the largest chunk in the group, taking home about 435 billion. This means that many in more communities within this year will smile and more drums will be beaten to inaugurate more roads and bridges. In Abuja, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
We apologize. That report was the Works and Housing special report by Abdullah Mohammed. The water resources will come subsequently. All right, now let's go on. The federal government is prioritizing balancing health care across the value chains. Minister of Health Osagie Hanire, who joined guests on Good Morning Nigeria to discuss expectations for health sector in 2023, says more focus is targeted at redesigning primary health care to offer 24-hour quality healthcare services to mitigate preventable diseases worsened by lack of access to medical treatment. Lydia Sampson has details.
Removing financial hurdles throughout primary healthcare facilities across the country, the minister says, is being prioritized with the introduction of effective medical emergency ambulance services without payment at the point of care. He says they are already operating in some states, with 4 more to commence soon.
As you know, the health sector offers primary, secondary, and tertiary care, and a new level of care which didn't exist in an organized form before, which is the emergency medical service that we see to the needs of patients where they have problems and when they have problems. Now, expenditure in the health sector, as you said quite rightly, has been a heavy load of out-of-pocket expenditure for the ordinary person, more so during emergency. So in emergency care, there will be no expenditure at point of care by the patient. That is a guarantee.
Though the minister and other guests are on the same page that matching words with action remains a challenge, they say more proactive measures must be in place to guarantee keeping Nigerians healthy.
A hospital is an investment. Some people take loan to open that hospital, you see, and therefore they should be well taken care of. Even the brain gain we are talking about, brain gain can only prosper in an environment of security and where there is availability of facility for investment.
We should plan to deploy the resources we have, including the finances, in such a manner that, we shall, keep Nigerians healthy.
I would want to see more money deployed to health. And when it is deployed to health, like we've just said, let there be a plan for the unknown. That there are emerging diseases that are coming. There are going to be emergencies. And we should have money ready.
They insist it is time government implements the African Union Abuja Declaration, which stipulates 15% budget allocation to the health sector. The guests urged government to also prepare for the unforeseen and the unknown, as new diseases emerging can wreak havoc if not mitigated. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
As work resumes after the festive period, some returnees are worried over the increasing cost of transport fares and limited number of vehicles at bus terminals in Makurdi, the Benue State capital. Moses Ode visited some parks and reports that some stranded returnees are saddened by this development.
With the Yuletide coming to an end and the expiration of public holidays, people are beginning to return to their base to attend to work, businesses, school, and other activities. However, many passengers are stranded as there are limited vehicles to convey them to their destination.
The problem is there is no vehicle. The ones they have is break down. They try to repair this one before we back on the journey.
From here to Lagos, we used to pay 10,000, 9,000, but now it's 12,000 naira.
I've never experienced this kind of crowd like this. A lot of people going back. I was thinking by today to be less.
Administrative manager, while assuring the public of the company's readiness to accommodate the influx of passengers, stated that the company is aware of the situation and working towards providing effective, smooth, and safe transport services to all returnees.
Preparation for this is a year. It's our peak period. We always prepare for the peak period every year so that we can satisfy our customers. And because our fares are moderate, people flush to our premises to get. And we don't inflate charges because of the period.
He further stated that despite the Yuletide, the company has maintained same transport fare in Makurdi. Moses Ode, NTA News.
Ayodeji Makinde will now bring us sports update.
Preparation toward the successful National Youth Games in Asaba, Delta State is underway after the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development awarded the hosting rights for the 7th edition of the Fiesta. The Games, set to hold February 8 to 18 at Dennis Osadebe University, remains the foremost platform for discovery of grassroots sports talents in the country, many of whom have become world beaters since the first edition held in Abuja in 2013. In tennis, top seed Novak Djokovic is through to the semi-final of the Adelaide International on Saturday after straight-set 6-4, 6-4 victory over Denis Shapovalov. The 21-time Grand Slam champion is up against Daniil Medvedev, who dispatched Karen Khachanov 6-3, 6-3. In football, Manchester United and Everton square off in the third round of the English FA Cup tonight as the Red Devils seek to continue their winning streak under Erik ten Hag. Everton, on the other hand, are facing a poor run of form as Frank Lampard's men are winless in 6 matches. Elsewhere, tributes continue to pour in for former Italy and Chelsea forward Gianluca Vialli, who passed on Friday at the age of 58 after battling pancreatic cancer. Vialli captained Juventus to UEFA Champions League title before joining Chelsea in 1996 and led the London club to 5 major titles, including the UEFA Super Cup. With sports updates, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
And that ends Nationwide. Before we go, don't forget to join NTA in its campaign against rape and rapists. I am Lydia Odijochi. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.